Hello everyone, welcome to the Power Ranger universe, and in this episode I will be talking to you about the Elite 6th edition and what actually mattered to me from some of the things I've read. And I'll be explaining all the different rule changes and my opinions. So here we go. Cover saves are changed. They are now 5 up in most terrain except for ruins, which is probably a bit better, being 4 up. The turn phases are now different. It is move, assault, shoot, and then consolidate. So I'm guessing that Games Workshop wants people to learn fantasy without playing fantasy by playing 40k. Okay? Yeah, so that'll be a little different. There are now cruising and combat speeds for all units, so including infantry, which doubles their movement from moving at cruising speed, and you can't shoot anymore before charging, I guess because of the new different phases. So, a charge is double movement, and flat out is triple movement, and fleet adds 2 to your movement value. So, doing the math, that's normal, what should I say, okay, that will make jump packs super fast. So if they move 12, double to 24, and then they charge, which is their movement, 36, and fleet adds a couple. I guess they don't have fleet, but that's still crazy fast. That'll mean people are getting into assault very soon in the game. So close combat armies are probably way better, including like foot terminators and stuff like that. So now no retreat is now for every, or being like sweeping advance, you know? For every wound that you lose combat by, you can take an armor save without, not an armor save, take a wound without an armor save. It kind of like fearless wounds, or you can try to pass a morale check, and you take 1 less leadership for every wound you lost by. And if you pass, you can, I guess, you're alive, right? But if you just take a bunch of wounds, you know, I guess like orcs will probably do one of the two. So sweeping advance is now much, I think, fairer. If you lose combat and fail the check, on a 5+, you break out of combat. So Necrons, just on a 5+, you break out. And if your initiative is higher than your opponent, 4+. So that's pretty good. So it doesn't mean that 6 initiative guys can probably for sure take out any low initiative squad of like orcs or something. But new thing, wound allocation is now different. So for any multi-wounded model, if you take a wound, they're distributed, and you give 1 wound to each, and without putting 2 on the same guy, and so that makes it pretty fair. So you can't, if you're doing Drago Wing, you can't put 1, like, wound allocate so that 1 guy has no wounds, and then 1 guy dies, basically. So that's good, makes the game a bit more fair there. Blast weapons are very good now, because all they do is you roll to hit as normal shooting. So if a Vindicator is shooting, 3s to hit. If you miss, you scatter 2 times whatever you rolled. So a miss is a 2 or a 1, so the worst you can get is 2, so it would double to 4, and you would scatter 4 inches. So that's not that bad. So time for Vindicators and Doomsday Arcs to take action. New thing, rail weapons. So they're similar to the Necron Death Ray, where you put like a point and it spreads and hits everyone like that. So I guess this is for any Tau like rail gun that will come out, because Tau's coming out, you know? Makes them even better. So if you shoot a hammerhead, just hits everyone in that line. So it'll be really good. Now snipers, they get to allocate their own wounds. Makes sense because you're shooting a sniper. Force weapons, not that good anymore. They can't instant kill monstrous creatures. That's fair because every single Grey Knight has a force weapon, and they can just own Tyranid monstrous creatures, so that's good. and they like reduce the wounds, or like if it succeeds it only does 2 wounds if they're tough and stuff. But Melta Bombs now have Melta Rule and are AP 1. It's really good for 5 points. Psychic Hoods, they are now that each player rolls off and they add their mastery level. So that's more kind of like fantasy where you roll off, but I like that about it. So yeah. Okay, next, rapid fire weapons. They fire like assault weapons, which is awesome. So they can assault and everything, and if they are in range of half, or 12 inches, it should actually be half, because Fire Warriors are one of the only 30-inch rapid fire. Same, maybe, actually they are. So they should rapid fire in like 15, but you know, if they are in that range, they could shoot 2, so that means Kroots are pro now, because they just shoot like hell and then assault. Even if they're not that good shooting, it's still strength 4, AP 6. Pretty good. Kroots, better. Instant death has changed, and if your toughness is more, or if you're shot by something by 4 strength more than your toughness, you take 2 wounds. 5 strength more, 3 wounds. So this is really good for independent characters. If you're shot by a missile launcher, or I don't know, against a toughness 4 guy, they only take 2 wounds, and most independent characters have 3, so they're still alive and they don't instantly die and you lose 200 points, which makes sense. Another thing is, if you're double your opponent's weapon skill, you hit on 2s. So Karn's ability isn't that good anymore, except for if he's hitting someone that's higher weapon skill than him. But yeah. And if theirs is double yours, you hit on 5s, and if they're triple yours, you hit on 6s. So that's kind of sucks for like being hit by against a Swarm Lord or something is probably double or triple. Preferred enemy is now for shooting and close combat, which makes that's why they gave destroyers, I guess, like preferred enemy everything, so they just be able to hit against everything. It's good for their shooting and stuff. So if a unit is falling back, this is really bad. If they're falling back and their movement ends within 12 inches of an unengaged enemy model, the unit's destroyed. Which kind of sucks, but it will make the game pretty funny by kind of spreading everything around. And Orcs probably going to be really good at this, because people can break easier and just surround everything. Evasion is a new thing that they add to like characteristics that, and it works with the BS. So if you're shooting a Land Raider, it's probably not evasive, so it would have a really low value and it'd be easy to hit, or shoot, sorry. Whereas if you're shooting an infantry guy, it's going to be pretty hard to shoot them if you're just shooting bolters at them from pretty far, right? And, okay, if a unit this is really bad. If a unit falls off the board, so you run off, your opponent, like, can shoot, oh, they are destroyed, right? But they can choose if you get the kill point for it or victory points for it, which is kind of dumb, because you just never give it to them, and going off the board is kind of, should be the end of the world, and you die, but they do die, but it doesn't count, kind of dumb. It's not like they're, oh, you could say they're running off, we're running away, but in 40k, if you're running away, they'll just blow up your planet after, so probably die. New thing, mission objectives must be cleaned for an entire turn. So this makes it really easy to contest things. Or with one vehicle you can try and contest 2 things by moving, and then next turn you move again, so they haven't had it for a full turn. And that kind of sucks, right? So now Land Raiders just whoop, then move again, and contest 2 things. So it's going to be harder for objective games, or you're going to have to put it really far so no one can even get to you in 2 turns. But, okay. That's the end of the list of all the new rules that I have told you about. And if you hate any of them, tell me below. I will answer all your things, and we can just discuss all of them. If I got any of them wrong, probably did, but mostly right, hopefully. And overall, I think it will balance 40k more, take out those super cheap Deathwing list that you have an 800 point unit that you can't kill, and it's true, they are very cheap, but this also shows that Tau are probably going to be super good, because all their things are rail rifles and all rapid fire. So yeah, Tau are going to come out probably soon. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It's up there somewhere. If you're on Mini Wargaming, give me a 5-star. No 1-star losers, but anywhere between I'm fine. But thanks for watching. Thumbs up.